In mystery we are born. In mystery we live. And in mystery we die. Blessed be. You can sit down. Okay. So we continue to grieve and to honor many lives in this community. So I wanted to let you know that if you have a sorrow on your heart or a joy that you'd like to share, we do have pastoral care lay ministers every Sunday after the service who are available on the patio. This morning's lay minister is Susan Oliver, and she's wearing a colorful scarf. Our Right Relationship team is working to rebuild our process for engaging conflict in healthy ways. In the coming days, there'll be a survey coming your way that we wanted you to know about. The survey will ask you about awareness and resources available when engaging a conflict that emerges among us. We ask that when you receive the survey, please complete it by November 8th, and the results will be shared by November 30th, and the results will be shared by December 8th. For more information, please contact Reverend Justine. I also have a pledge update this morning. Would love to see, beautiful. So our pledge drive continues this week, and I am so excited to share that as of November 8th, we have received 251 pledges, totaling $648,000. Yes, that deserves a round of applause. Thank you so much for your shared commitment to this congregation. We have 1 week to go in our pledge drive, and we would love to be able to celebrate next week with the president of the UUA 100% participation in this year's pledge drive. So, if you haven't turned in your pledge, today is the day.
Have to find the right page here. One way we live our values as a congregation is by sharing our offering with local organizations working for justice. This month, our offering is being shared with the Refugee Health Alliance. This grassroots, cross-border organization runs several programs dedicated to meeting the needs of highly vulnerable groups, such as migrants who need maternal or reproductive care, gender-affirming health care for LGBTQI+ persons, children, persons with disabilities, and those facing immediate threats of violence. You may donate here in person this morning by using your credit card in the dip jar or by cash or check using the donation boxes. If you'd like assistance, please raise your hand. You may also donate online on our church's website, firstuusandiego.org. Thank you for your generosity. This morning's offering will now be gratefully received.
I got plenty and then some. What do I do? Plenty and then some. What do I do? I got plenty and then some. What do I do now? I go out and help somebody get plenty and then some too. I got a roof over my head. What do I do? A roof over my head. What do I do? I got a roof over my head. What do I do now? I go out and help somebody get a roof over their head too. I got supper on the table. What do I do? Got supper on the table. What do I do? I got supper on the table. What do I do now? I go out and help somebody get supper on the table too. That's what I do. 'Cause I've got it to give. I've got it to give. And when you got enough to give away, well, that's the only way to live. I'm going to heaven. What do I do? I'm going to heaven. What do I do? I'm going to heaven. What do I do now? Go out and help somebody. Go out and help somebody. I go out and help somebody. Going to heaven too.
This morning when I walked in, I was telling someone I was going to do my reflection, and they said, oh, they hadn't filled out their pledge card yet. So I was told I don't have to do this because they're going to do that today, and I'm done. I can go home. So that was inspiring. Thank you for offering to fill out your card. You know, it would take me many hours to share all the reasons that I am called to generosity by and for this community. I hope to spare you this long list. After all, I am celebrating in 2023 40 years here at First UU San Diego. Thank you. Somehow, if we keep showing up, the years do add up. I joined this community initially and solely for the wonderful choir and the music. I stayed here as the years went by for the music, the ministers who spoke to my heart and encouraged spiritual growth, the elders whom I admired, and the social justice efforts I believed in, and so much more. I was a pledging friend and then a member. My economic situation was limited and my financial giving was small. Over the years, to my surprise, my circumstances did improve little by little, and I was challenged to pledge and increase my pledge as I was able, and to put aside some money for our endowment fund, all of which felt very, very good to me. But what I want to share is just a recent small experience I had and the message that came to me during this experience, given that I've had so many wonderful experiences here. This is one kernel of why this community matters to me and why I want it to thrive and continue to exist through the generosity of all of us. Recently, a worship arts workshop was offered by Reverends Kristen and Justine, Tony Bianca, and Marshall Voigt. Aren't we so blessed by having these talented members and staff with us? If those of you know me, I had other options of what I could do that day, but one of them got canceled, and I thought, okay, I'll go to this workshop. I didn't really have clear expectations, and I also had thoughts of, what will I get from this? Why am I going to spend my time here? Why am I going? I did miss the opening moments of that workshop. Soon into the workshop, something happened. Some sharing and feedback occurred, and I really don't remember what it was in response to, from one of our long-term members, who shed some tears and spoke from their heart about how moved they were by what was unfolding in this workshop. This emotional sharing sparked a similar feeling in me. It was unexplainable, and it arose spontaneously. I felt a real opening in my own heart and body. It was an intense feeling of connection with the others in the room. There were about 40 of us, I would say. Very intimate community. And a strong feeling of community and deep joy. These words don't quite capture my experience, but it was a strong reaction. I had such gratitude for the leaders and the other folks who showed up. I saw a person whom I'd never seen at this church, and I saw people who have been here many years welcoming them. And I've seen that person return since that day, and that's really warmed my heart. The message that came to me that day is what I really want to share with you. As I said, I had lots of choices of what to do with my time. It was in showing up and in others showing up and in my surprise at the unexpected learnings and feelings arising that I felt such community. I realize not everyone is able to physically show up sometimes, and it's great we have technology to connect us. And I've become comfy staying in my PJs and watching the service at times also. But I feel so strongly that the threads of our community are woven strongly when we can be in this physical space together, feel each other's souls and spirits, and share our deepest feelings in hopefully a safe space. When we have a shared experience in this very meeting house, surprising and unexpected things may arise amidst this uncertainty. Is this generosity? I'm not sure, but I think it's a part of all the forms of generosity that we are calling for. We have choices. I invite you to take the risk. Show up at times you might not feel like it, when you may have doubt and uncertainty. You too may be surprised at what you learn about yourself and others and what unfolds in that moment of mystery. We do need each other. May this community continue to grow and thrive through all our varied forms of generosity and giving.
I invite you to take a few deep breaths with me. Open my heart to all that I seek. Let me be part of the love you give. Open my heart to all that I seek. Let me be part of the love you give. Open my heart to all that I seek. Let me be part of the love you give. Ábreme a todo que busco. Quiero ser parte de tu amor. Ábreme a todo que busco. Quiero ser parte de tu amor. Open my heart to all that I seek. Let me be part of the love you give. Open my heart to all that I seek. Let me be part of the love you give.
I invite you to join me in the spirit of meditation. If it feels good, you might close your eyes. Connect with your breath. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. As it feels good to you, I just invite you to bring your attention to your heart. To just notice what's on your heart this morning. What are you bringing with you into this space? No need to change what you find there. Just to bring awareness, presence to your heart. If it feels good, you might place your hands on your heart. Imagining love flowing into your being. Filling you, holding you. Spirit of life and love, let us be part of the love that you give. Let us be vessels for love where the world is hurting. Let us bring love and peace and care and kindness and generosity to the places and to the people who are struggling and suffering. May we know love in our body, minds, and spirits. And may we bring love to others. Blessed be.
This reading is called Small Kindnesses by Danusha Lemaris. I've been thinking about the way when you walk down a crowded aisle, people pull in their legs to let you by. Or how strangers still say, bless you, when someone sneezes, a leftover from the bubonic plague. Don't die, we are saying. And sometimes when you spill lemons from your grocery bag, someone else will help you pick them up. Mostly, we don't want to harm each other. We want to be handed our cup of coffee hot and to say thank you to the person handing it, to smile at them and for them to smile back. For the waitress to call us honey when she sets down the bowl of clam chowder, and for the driver in the red pickup truck to let us pass. We have so little of each other now, so far from tribe and fire. Only these brief moments of exchange. What if they are the true dwelling of the holy, these fleeting temples we make together when we say, here, have my seat. Go ahead, you first. I like your hat.
I'll invite the women's choir back up to the risers, and as they make their way, just share a couple of thoughts about this morning's music. Our theme for the month is generosity, and the women's choir had the piece that we sang as a prelude, Crowded Table, a song about just making people feel welcome in the spaces we create, being generous of spirit. This piece that we'll sing now is called Hold Out Your Light. I want to read you from the liner notes of the arrangement by arranger Rollo Dilworth. Hold Out Your Light is a traditional spiritual that encourages the singer and the listener to bring a spirit of hope and optimism to the world. Enslaved Africans who sought after and fought for their freedom created this song as a tool of praise, protest, and perseverance that allowed them to endure some of the most challenging times. Similar to other spirituals, such as This Little Light of Mine and Is a Light Shining in the Heaven, the use of light imagery in Hold Out Your Light not only directed freedom seekers to set their sights on the lights above them, God and the North Star, for example, but this light also represented the elements of goodness that they believe existed in the hearts of all. So we thought these two pieces were good choices for today, and we hope that you find meaning in this next one.
Thank you so much for that gift of music. So I remember the first time that we opened the door of our home, and our neighbor was standing there. And in his hands, he had a box full of Italian plums and a tray full of green beans. All he said was, "We have some extra. We thought you might enjoy these." We didn't know each other well, just some casual greetings on the long driveway that connected our homes. Lucas was much smaller then. I can remember he wasn't walking yet because I have this image in my mind of him with two giant green beans, one in each hand, crawling, army crawl on the floor, stopping to take a bite, and then smiling from ear to ear. I was just so struck by the generosity of it. Someone I barely knew coming to share with me what they had to give. I felt such gratitude for receiving this unexpected gift of nourishment. And this sharing of abundance inspired me to give too. From the plums, we made homemade jam. Then we secretly went to the neighbors' doorsteps and we dropped little jars of jam on each of the neighbors' doorsteps. We packed up packages for our closest family and friends with jars of jam. The next summer, I grew extra in the garden so that I could drop off bundles of kale and herbs, tomatoes and strawberries with our neighbors. It brought me pure joy to share what we had to give. Now, this small act, one neighbor dropping by more than they could use, caused this ripple effect. All the neighbors began sharing what they had too, trading heads of cabbage and cauliflower for potatoes and corn. Someone would come and drop off cookies at the holidays. Others would invite each other to help with the berry harvests. We began taking care of one another's gardens when we were out of town because we knew that the land and the plants and the harvest belonged to all of us. We knew in an embodied way through that sharing that we belonged to one another. These simple acts of generosity are the way that we built a community. When have you been moved by the generosity of someone else? What did it inspire in you? This month, we're exploring the spiritual theme of generosity. Generosity is freely giving what you have to share. I loved when I looked up the definition, it didn't help me much. It said something like the quality of being generous. I was like, well, that doesn't get me anywhere. But I loved the synonyms. Here are some of the synonyms for generosity: big-heartedness, open-handedness, bountifulness, kindness, open-heartedness. Now those, I love them. I thought they really resonated. These last few weeks, I've been contemplating on what generosity means to me, and our meditation hymn has been accompanying me. I wake up in the morning and I hear it quietly singing itself. I walk through the neighborhood, or when I'm preparing a meal, I hear in the background, "Open my heart to all that I seek. Let me be part of the love you give. Open my heart to all that I seek. Let me be part of the love you give." As I breathe into the rhythm and the meaning of this song, I feel like the words are teaching me about how to be more generous. It all starts with the heart. To notice what's there, whether it's aching or full, tight or overflowing. And then to just offer some loving compassion to whatever is happening in my heart. When I've done that, to then invite a little opening, a little softening in my heart. Through that opening, to allow myself to receive what I truly seek. I seek things like connection and belonging, meaning, nourishment, community, and love. To feel those things coming through in that opening in my heart. And to feel gratitude for the ways that my life is sustained by so many people and beings and things. And then to allow myself to serve as a vessel for the spirit of life and love to work through me. For love to flow through me and through us, to give freely what we have. Maybe some kindness, some attention, some time, some resources, whatever we have to offer that can nourish the well-being of others. When I think about generosity in this way, it becomes a spiritual practice, and it's rooted in reciprocity. Not just the giving or the receiving, but the dynamic interchange between the two. I believe that generosity is an embodiment of some of our core theological beliefs as Unitarian Universalists. That we are part of an interconnected web of life, that we are interdependent, that we belong to one another, and our fates are bound up with each other. Our salvation is collective, and we sustain one another's lives. This is why I believe generosity is one of the core values in the proposed revisions to Article 2 of the UUA bylaws. Article 2 describes generosity in this way: we cultivate a spirit of gratitude and hope. We covenant freely and compassionately to share our faith, our presence, and resources. Our generosity connects us to one another in relationships of interdependence and mutuality. I believe that generosity calls us into relationship, into community, and into the work of justice. In our offertory, Marshall shared a song that I love by singer-songwriter Susan Werner. I got plenty and then some, what do I do? I go out and help somebody get plenty and then some too. I've got a roof over my head, what do I do? I go out and help somebody get a roof over their head too. I got supper on the table, what do I do? I go out and help somebody get supper on the table too. That's what I do because I've got it to give, And when you've got enough to give away, it's the only way to live. There are so many ways that we live into this as a congregation. Through our generosity offerings, where we share the basket each month with local organizations working for justice. When we advocate with San Diego Organizing Project for affordable housing. When we witness at the detention center for community-based alternatives to for-profit detention. And when we go to the border, like some of us will be doing this coming Saturday, to provide humanitarian aid for people who are stuck between the border walls. We partner to ensure that our neighbors have what they need to survive and to thrive. One vital and essential way that we live into this call is through the South Bay Food Pantry. If you haven't been, I want to invite you to go, to participate, to see it and experience it. Every Saturday, this congregation feeds over 400 families. And on Sunday, we distribute diapers to hundreds of families as well. It takes people freely giving of their time and their resources. About 60 volunteers from both the church and the community pick up food and bag groceries, organize deliveries, and greet clients each week. Food that would be thrown away is instead redistributed to nourish our neighbors. And to me, it's not just the feeding that is so beautiful, it's what happens in the process. The relationships, the sense of community that is being built by sharing our resources with one another. Because we truly do belong to one another, and we sustain one another. This is how we embody generosity. So I ask you, what do you have to share? How are you being called to more fully embody generosity? Maybe it's time. Maybe it's a simple kindness, your loving attention, some extra harvest from your garden, or a few extra dollars. Every gift is valuable, and all of this abundance freely and compassionately given is what sustains our lives. May we live into the call to embody generosity. May we experience the pure joy of sharing what we have to give, of being part of something larger, of nourishing our communities. May it be so.
I invite you to rise and body your spirit and share the gift of your voice with this room, with this community. We'll close our service with hymn number 128, For All That Is Our Life. For all that is our life, we sing our thanks and praise. For all life is a gift which we are called to use to build the common good and make our own days glad. For whom each other serve, for services we give, for work and its rewards, for hours of rest and love, we come with praise and thanks. For all that is our life, for sorrow we must bear, for failures, pain, and loss, for each new thing we learn, for fearful hours that pass, we come with praise and thanks. For all that is our life, for all that is our life, we sing our thanks and praise. For all life is a gift which we are called to use to build the common good and make our own days glad.
May we go forth in gratitude for the gift that is our life, and may we share freely what we have to give to one another. Blessed be and go in generosity.